Hi everyone, and welcome to today's German Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps right off the bat. Tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be up a tinge late, because Thursday's a late day. And let's get right to today's recap, because I can't believe half the things happened today that happened, okay? So at Ferncliff, and that should be your first clue as to who we're about to see, Franco is visiting Heather Weber. And I'm like, from that promo yesterday, I knew it. Like, I absolutely knew it. And he shows her a new painting he made, and it's of her. It's actually really nice, but don't tell anyone I said that. And they talk about Nina and how he's lost without her. And then he tells her about his job at the hospital, and she's not a fan of that, to say the least. And Heather gets offended when Franco says Obrecht is his biggest fan, and he says he's starting to feel like the way he did before they removed the tumor, and he feels his only chance, to be normal again is to win Nina back. And, how can we do that? And how can I do that? And then there was a very inappropriate conversation between a parent and child, in my opinion. I'm just kidding. Not really. It was weird. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, that's a little weird. So Heather tells Franco she believes in him and he can do what he puts his mind to. So let's see how he takes that advice. At Sonny's place, Sonny is so mad that Carlos is free and Dante was almost killed. I would be too. I totally understand that. And Carly wants Sonny to let the police handle it and not do anything. And I'm like, you know who you're talking to, right? And Michael comes in and he seems to be on Team Sonny, to say the least. And Michael tells Sonny about visiting Carlos, and Sonny's like, oh, I know. Michael's like, what, you having me watch? And he's like, no, I'm having Carlos watched. And so Sonny says Carly's right and they need to leave Carlos alone. And I'm like, okay, by we you mean Michael. Got it. And Sonny calls Max for an update. Michael overhears it. Sonny basically tells him to go upstairs and spend time with Avery. And Michael and Carly come downstairs and Sonny's not there. Where could he be? They think he's going after Carlos. At the pier, Carlos calls Julian and he wants his help, and he feels Julian owes him, and he wants help getting back to Sabrina and the baby, and he says if he gets caught, his only chance is to take a plea and turn on Julian. So like a little bit of blackmail, a little bit of asking for help, mix it together. Perfect combination. And the cops are at the pier. Not good for him. And Carlos decided to hide in the water. So he's thinking outside the box, At Alexis's place, Julian gets off the phone with Carlos and is getting his gun out of his gun box when Alexis and two officers walk in. And they ask if he's heard from Carlos, so they have a search warrant to search the house to see if Carlos is there. I'm like, yeah, because Carlos is there. They've gotten this far by being that stupid. And Alexis asks why the gun is out, and he says he wants to protect himself now that Carlos is on the loose, and she's locking the gun away, and he runs over and steals the dagger and sticks it out. He's taken the dagger. So he says he has to leave, and Alexis wants answers. Like, where are you going at this time of night? And he says there's a Nina crisis, and he has to go check out Cribsit. And she asks if he's seen Carlos, and he's like, are you going to always be questioning me before I leave the house? And I'm like, for someone who is doing exactly what she's accusing you of doing, you're awfully self-righteous. And he leaves. So Alexis calls Crimson, and Nina doesn't pick up because she thinks it's Franco, and Alexis calls Nina's cell phone, and again, she lets it go to voicemail because she doesn't bother to check. She thinks it's Franco. And as Alexis is leaving, Sonny is at the door. Yeah. So he wants to talk about Carlos and Julian because that's everyone's favorite subject. So they talk about the witness and all that jazz. And for the record, I did, in fact, write and all that jazz in my notes. And Alexis still upholds that Julian didn't do it. And Sonny asks why Julian isn't home. Oh, it's because he's with Carlos. What do you think, Alexis? You're going to come out of the dream world? At the pier, Julian arrives. And he gives Carlos cash. At Crimson, Nina is staying at the office because the Metro Court is booked and she doesn't want to stay at any other hotel. So there's someone at the door. It's Dylan, and she tells him her and Franco broke up. And Kiki comes in and tells her Franco's losing his mind. So Nina tells Kiki that he broke up and it's over. And Kiki tells her that Franco's painting like a maniac and saying really scary things. And Nina wants a grand gesture because that's the only way she'd consider taking Franco back. And in the freezer, I don't know, the weird thing at the pier that's alluded to be cold, I don't know. Why is there a freezer anyone could walk into at the pier? I do not know these answers. If you know these answers, feel free to tell me. So Anna is visited by Duke, and I just think it's really funny because I just had a dream like a week and a half ago that Duke came back. It was a little different circumstances, but still, I foresaw it. I am the General Hospital psychic, basically. That's what we're going to start doing here. So she knows she's dreaming, but she doesn't care. She apologizes for failing him, and he doesn't want her wasting her life on him and going after revenge. So she laments for the future they'll never have, and he says they should have run away together before the nurses' ball. But what kind of life would they have lived in the cottage? And I'm like, that just sounds great. You could have just relaxed and been in love. And she tells him he has a son, and he's so proud to hear that his son's a surgeon, and he's sad that he's missing out on getting to know him. Now, end scene. Woo. So Heather Weber wants a grandchild. She is on team grandchild. And I'm like, this lead to no good. Nina tells Kiki it is really over and she wants them to leave so she could get some sleep. And Dylan wants to take Kiki home to make sure that everything's okay. And Nina tells them relationships don't work. And they're like, we're just friends. And she's like, yeah, I used to be just friends with Franco. Look how that turned out. Michael is going to leave to take a walk, and Carly isn't totally convinced that he's not going after Carlos. Alexis tells Sonny that Julian said he was going to Crimson, and Franco is in Nina's office. She left to, I don't know, but she came back in the office, and he's naked in her office, standing behind the computer, very modest. So, little How I Met Your Mother flashback. Hey, Anna and Duke love each other, and he promises that she'll get through this. And she wakes up alone in that weird freezer room. And Julian tells Carlos he'll miss him. And Julian, let's hug it out, bro. Let's hug it out. But it's actually the worst hug ever because instead of an actual hug, he stabs him with the dagger. So, I mean, Julian will not be winning for a Hug of the Year, just saying. But if you want to vote for Character of the Week, feel free to do that. Thank you so much for watching today, as, again, tomorrow is going to be up probably maybe around 8, the latest should be. So thank you. And Friday's going to be a little late too. I have an exciting day tomorrow. Hopefully, wish me luck. I'll tell you more about that after it happens, because who knows. And, recap officially over. Update on the electrical drama. So we called and they have received the inspection report. So we're no longer under threat of getting our power taken away. And I'm like, really? It took less than 24 hours to get that car. Why wasn't that done 2.5 weeks ago when it was supposed to be? Instead, I have to get yelled at by some random stranger. That's nice. But so yeah, everything's fine. Nightmare is over, part 2, basically. I think we're finally done with this whole electric drama. But thank you. I have to make a video with all the pictures and everything from before, because it's just crazy dogs. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow around 8 for more General Hospital. Bye!